Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's your boy razzthemad here, and today we are going to be going through some things that I like to do in Reason. One of the more important subjects we're going to be talking about today is blocks. I know a lot of people don't quite know about blocks, but I'm here to show you a little bit of how it's done and how I like to use it. I use it in a quite different way, and I think it's interesting for some people to check it out. So that being said, we're also going to be going into my Combinator setup. I'm going to show you how I use the RV7000, which is my favorite reverb. And also, I just wanted to also show everybody that I brought out my recent shirt from, I believe I got this shirt when I bought 2.5 Reason. Now, I've been on Reason since beta, so since before it was even launched. I've been like, well, not launched, but it was launched anyway. Whatever. I've had it since 1. I've been a lover of Reason. I've gone around. I took off. I took a break and went to Ableton. Didn't feel it. Wasn't feeling it. Nah, it's not my stuff. I like it. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna say it's not, but it's just not me. Now I have a Reason already set up here. This is my version of the empty rack, and you'll see it's quite empty. There's no other need for anything else in here. It's just a clean, empty rack. Now, what I did do is I went ahead and I opened up the master section, put a little remarker in here just for fun. But what I've done is I've set up my first effects unit. Now, here's the thing. Once you set up one effect unit in here automatically manually the right way, it'll you put the device in, and then you wire it to the effects send and return, and then any other effects units that I put in here will automatically be wired properly to the main effects unit for the mixer. So I'll just undo that real quick. Flip this back around and we will get started here. So let's start out with a basic instrument to get started. Now, I've already created my favorite setting here, which is the Combinator. This is my default Combinator 1. And you see here I have my own little custom visuals here. But this is basically the unit that I start with for just about every device that I ever make. If it's going to be any kind of instrument or even some effects patches, I still start with this. So this is my Combinator, and you'll see you have 2 devices already set up. Okay, the first device is going to be this mixer. So the mixer is, so any instrument you drop in here, it's going to go right underneath, and you're going to have it auto mapped right up to or auto routed right up to this mixer. So if I want to stack basses or something, or if I want to stack sounds or whatever, everything that I put in here, it's going to be just another, it's going to be automatically set up. So look, we turn around, everything is nice. The mixer's ready to go, nice and ready. We got some sound going on here. All right, so I just wanted to take you through this setup first, though, before we get into the sound design prospects here. So you see we have the filter, the ECF42. This is the good old staple. I use this like with every of these combos. This is what we do here. And you'll notice that when I hit the frequency here, the frequency and the resonance go up or down depending on what I'm doing here. Now I have this set up. This is the magic setup for me, because what I like to do is, check it out. I'll play a note. Okay, see, this is what I want to start out with. So every Combinator is going to have this EQ setup and the mixer setup, so that I can start rapidly building stacked machines of whatever awesomeness I can come up with. Okay, so there's some things that we need to know about this, by the way. So we're going to go into the setup. So this is the programmer, and you'll see here we have a list in this programmer of the devices that are within the Combinator. So you see you have the filter, you have the mixer, and you have the pigments, okay? So now we're gonna just click on the filter, and you'll see over here to the right our modulation routing. We have our frequency and our resonance, and I've taken and put it into rotary 1, so that these are both rotary 1 and rotary 1 is gonna affect frequency and resonance. Now look at the numbers here, the settings here. So you'll see, as I pull it all the way down, I don't have the filter to come all the way down because I don't want it to be shut off completely. I just want it to have that cool sound effect. Also, the resonance rises. So see how this works? Now you're gonna be like, well, wait a minute, look. Well, how does that work? How is this working? Why is one going up, the other one's going down? Well, because what you do here is you can go up with the parameters, or you can go down. So the minimum range is gonna show where, when I go all the way down, how far this goes up. So you have it set to 111 and it's 111. So the resonance is gonna go up, but I have it in the minimum here. See, this is minimum here. So this part, anytime that I take this knob and I go down, this is what's gonna happen. So if you set it to 40, that means it's only gonna go down to 40. If you set it to max in the up, it's gonna go to all the way up, right? This is pretty simple, but I want you to just get the concept here because it's gonna be backwards or inverted on some channels here. So we have the resonance, which is actually inverted. So you have the smaller number on the bottom here and the bigger number on the top. Now I'm just doing this hyperbolically so you can see what's happening here, because there's two things happening at once. This is how it works, guys. It's awesome. This is so much power. There's so much power here, and you can do this with literally everything. Now, the greatest part about this is the Combinator will allow you to get parameters attached to these macro buttons when you even don't have those parameters available. So let me show you real quick. I'm gonna set up another instance of this, and this time we're gonna put a drum, a rhythmic drum machine in here, right? And now look at all these knobs here. Look at all these cool knobs that we can be messing with. So okay, so you see these, if you turn around, there's only some CV in and out. That's it. It's real basic, so you really don't have a lot that you can do with it until you throw it into a Combinator, that is. So check it out. I want to take this clap sound, all right? I want to make this clap do this. I want to be able to do this with this clap through the macro, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into the setup. We're going to find the rhythmic, and then we're going to find, well, I already have this first rotary setup for my special setup here. So we're going to mess with rotary 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that we're on rotary 2, right? And you can change these too if you want. You can do whatever you want with them. This is the best part about it. So you can add as many of these as rotary 2 is going to be affecting that, which is awesome. And you have this, you got like 10 of them to choose from. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go, this clap is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th channel. There's 8 channels in the rhythmic, and there's 8 drums according. Okay, so on the 6th one, we are going to find drum 6, and we're gonna do the pull out here. And what do we want? I want the delay amount to be affected. And I also wanna do that with the reverb. So here we go. So now you're gonna see, as I move this knob, see how it moved them? Everything's moving. Let me shut this down here a little closer so you can see just this stuff, okay? So rotary 2 is now affecting both of these things. Okay, so now it's just up to you as a sound designer to see how much is too much and how little you want it to be able to sound. Okay, so we're gonna start here. Look at 20, 25, whatever. Now over here, we're gonna make the minimum 25, okay? Around that 25 that I was saying. And then we're gonna make the maximum, let's see. Let's do about 5.0. We'll drag it down to 5.0-ish, right around there. All right, cool. Now with the reverb also, let's shut this down so we don't, with the reverb, there's a little bit of tail there. Okay. So 7.5 sounds good. We don't want it to be too big. We want to have a nice effect. And then the bottom here, we can bring it down to about 50. It don't matter. Whatever you want to do. Now you see how the delay and the reverb, they go down to their different respective levels here. So this is going to be good because it gives you that ultimate control. And now another cool thing is that we're going to be able to start, automating it, do some effects automations. So we can come down here into where the drums are, make a little lane here, and we'll have some fun here, drawing in some drums real quick. I'm just going to show you a couple things here. I'm going to throw down a simple 4/4 beat. Okay, now this is going to be rapid setups here. This is how we do it, okay? So this is a standard 4/4 beat. Now it's going to sound pretty bad because the cymbal crash, this is not an open hat. So let's make it an open hat. All right, this is good for now. We just used it. Now we can mess with the fade outs and things like this, so we can have more control over that kick, so it doesn't last too long. This is going to help you with your EQing and everything, but we're just going to keep it simple, and we're just talking about this kind of stuff for now. All right, so we're just setting things up. See, we can do a lot of fun stuff with this if we automate this. Let's see, we got some hi-hats here. Too big. We need to cut this down. Let's cut it down. Make it smaller. Let's fade it in a little bit. Reduce a little transient. Okay. Gonna do the same thing here. That's some house sound right there. There we go. See, now let's have some control over this thing here. Get some automation here. Make them the same value by hitting this equal sign. Whenever you click multiple values, there's usually an equal sign, whatever the value is, and that will equalize it to the first value. So whatever this value is, the next value will be according to that, which is really good for simplicity if you want to make sure that all your stuff starts at the same spot. Now the thing is, why isn't this doing anything yet? Well, because we haven't committed it yet. The second I hit the stop button, this will light up and it'll take over. See? So now we can see. Now, how automation works is I can override it by just touching it and grabbing it and do whatever I want with it. So whatever's in it's gonna get overridden. So until we stop and go back, now it's gonna have its priority again. So whatever that is, whatever that section is going to have it. Okay. All right, cool. So let's make a little melody. Let's find a little something here that makes some sense here. Pull up my pigments. By the way, guys, pigments, I've had this thing for a couple months now, and I can't recommend this thing enough. This thing is so goddamn awesome. It's the most amazing thing I've ever had. The sounds that are, that come right out of it are amazing, but you know what? The ability to really mess with and use these macros, almost just like the Combinator's macros. I think that these macros were actually inspired by Combinator's macros. That's how good they are. Let's use this. Let's just go with this for now, okay? Let's do a little recording here. Now what I usually do is I like to come right in and edit these things right away. So a lot of times you want the length to be the same. You want the volume and whatnot to be the same. So again, whatever those parameters are, whatever those values are, if they're uneven, there's that match values button, and that really quickens you up. So you see how all of them are the same height and length now. And all I did was to just select them all and do two button presses. Now another thing over here, I have a tool window open. I highly recommend keeping your tool window just open all the time. Mine's going to be right on the side here to the right. And it has all the things that you're looking for quantize and everything. So I have mine set usually for shuffle, for quantize, and just connect them all, hit shuffle, and you see we quantized everything nice in shape here. Now the tool window in 10.4, or in Reason 10 is super important. I know they updated this in Reason 11, so don't worry about it if you're using Reason 11. But the same concepts in play here. You have the tool window is great with the quantizing, your note velocities, your lengths, your legatos, and all that cool stuff. So here we have a little loop. Okay, so if you see, and I wanted to also bring you back to this, by the way, because now we have my, with the setup that I prepare here, I have, see how that works? See how easy that is? I mean, this is so much fun. I mean, it's the DJ in you, it just comes out, So, for this kick and for this drum, let's change it up a little bit because it sounds a little bit too much. So I'm gonna see where this is the most, where it gets annoying. Okay, 61. I mean, the way we have it right now is pretty good. Let's make it real quiet. So bring it down to about 22 sounds good. Okay, so let's go over, this is the frequency. Let's go to frequency. And right now it's at 40. Let's bring it down to what, 22? 20, 22, like I was just at. And now when we bring this down, it's gonna go down to that. Now you can always set it up to your mod wheel too if you want. That's, it's up to you. Especially if your controller only has a mod wheel on it, I would highly recommend setting it up to mod wheel. But As you can see, I have my Nectar, I have my Akai Mini, and you know, I have a lot of other I have other things to manipulate that. So setting it up for the mod wheel isn't important for me. But it might be for you. You know, if you only have that's all you have is a mod wheel and a pitch wheel, then that's all you're gonna do. Anyway, all right, so cool, we got that. Now, say I want to use this beat, right? Say I want to use this beat, but I'm not really feeling the way the string sound is going, you know, and I want to kind of audition some new stuff. So say I have a really cool, you know, say this is a really cool beat. Let's just hypothetically going here, guys. This is a quick setup, right? But say this is a really amazing beat, and you're like, you know what? I just don't like the way the strings are sounding here, and you know what? How do I audition something else without like really fucking up my song? All right, so real easy. What I do and how I use blocks, this is when blocks starts to come in for me, okay? So we go up to options and we hit enable blocks. Now you see there's a whole, another little layer right here that just came up. So we have song and we have blocks. So now if you select it, you're in block mode. Now what block mode is it's all these different blocks that you can fill with whatever information you want. And then when you go back to the song and you draw it up top here, now you have that block. So whatever's contained within this block will be in this block. Now let me show you this a little bit more in detail. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take this kick, these drums here. I'm going to copy it, control copy, right? And now I'm going to go into block mode. Now block 1 is selected and that's the one we have available. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to copy paste it, and then you'll see that it's in here now. We're going to make a nice little you know, section here. Control J it to connect them. Let's get another kick on the end here. Let's do a little. Okay, so that's the end of the sequence. Okay, let's go back, do the close here button. And now we have now here's the thing with blocks. Now the E, you know, the endpoint is how big the block is gonna be. So let's go back to the song mode and you'll see what I'm talking about. So see here, you got the 4 bars and this is an 8 bar. Now, I only have the kick, you know, I only have a 4 bar section here out of 8 bars. So you see how it's missing? We can fix that real quick by just going right back to blocks and setting the endpoint here. Now when we go back into the song mode, see? So, and it'll just infinitely, you know, so you have the same pattern over and over. It's loop mode basically. And now the thing I use this for is to basically do a Reason hack of what Ableton does. So each one of these blocks, if you're used to using Ableton, this is the same thing as a clip. This is how I use it in this way. So let's go ahead and just move this out of the way, and we're going to use this. And now you see we hit play. Okay, so this is going to be block 1, and let's take this data. We're going to cut it, Control X or Command X, and then we're going to go back into block mode, and we are going to Control V it, and it's going to see. Oh no, what happened? I can't get it. Oh, and instead of changing this, all I have to do is do this. Just keep pull it, whatever you want to do. You can see you can move it real quick. This is one real easy way to do it. You can also take the snap off by pressing the S button real quick, and now you can slide it wherever you want, and then you turn it back on, and now, oh, it's snapping to that spot. Oh, okay, so how do I just, oh wow, see how easy it is? These position and length, these things are a godsend. They didn't used to have this back in the day, but ever since they added this, I can't remember when it was like 6 or something, it's been amazing. So here we have that. Let's make this loop a little bit longer. Didn't mean to do that. See? Now we have everything in our block. Okay? Now, there's many ways to do this if you want to do it. And like, there's many different ways of using blocks in this way that I just described here. Now, say I have another block. Let's highlight block 2 now. Let's go in and make another block, okay? So here we go. Go back to block, select block 2. Now this one, I don't want to have any kick in it because it's just going to be a point where we have no kick. So you can use it, you can use the blocks to help you set up sections. And then we can also go up here, call it no kick section. Let's go back up to the block. Full beat section. Whatever you want. You could put whatever you guys want. It doesn't matter. And now you see full beat section and no kick section. And now a lot of producers I've heard throughout the grapevine, and I do it a couple of times myself, but a lot of producers like to use these markers, to be able to break up their track and, be able to organize their track and visually have the different color codes and all that stuff. And so by using blocks just for laying out your track with no information in those, you can do that. So let's see. Let's do it. Okay, let's do a chorus section here. Okay, so this is going to be the chorus section. Let's find the chorus section. We'll designate block 3 to be the chorus section. So let's click block 3, chorus. Okay, so now we have that going, and here we have the chorus. So as long as whatever I want for the chorus, just fill it in the block, go to block, put it all in there, and you can move it as much as you want. You can change it around. Oh, I don't want that. I want the chorus to go first, whatever. Okay. Now, another thing to know about blocks is that this data, whatever is in the blocks, can be easily overridden. All you do is take something on top of it, and if you put an empty clip on top of it, it will actually mute the clip. So let's see. Let's do a little bit right here. I'm gonna make remove the kick. See how it works? Okay. So any data that you do, anything that you put on top of whatever's kind of grayed out from that block, you have complete control over. It's awesome. It's awesome. Anyway, so there's lots of ways that you can use the blocks function, and I highly recommend getting used to it because you can really do a lot of cool things with it. So let's go back what I was saying with the blocks, for instance. Now, say you have that really cool, like this, let's say this is really cool. We have this whole song set up. The song is sounding really amazing, but there's just something wrong with it. There's just something, just something you don't like about it. Well, whenever you want to audition something, just create a new block for it. That's all you got to do. Create a new block, and then you can try it out. So, for instance, let's do this with a new phrase. All right, let's see. Go back. So the block section is going to be... And if you hold shift and click up here in the timeline, you can get that end point. If you hit command click, you'll get the right point. And if you hit the option, you'll get the left point. Knowing your hotkeys is really important, guys, because it's going to speed everything up for you. So I highly recommend getting those underway. All right. We got block 4. And now we can add block 4 right here if we want. Obviously that sounds like shit. So we can have the ability to move. See how that is? Okay, so that's pretty simple. Now, I wanted to move forward here, and now that we have showed you how to do blocks, and I showed you my Combinator setup. Now's the time for you guys to have a lot of fun and check it out yourself. But before we move on, I just wanted to go into briefly show you one of my favorite devices, which I use pretty much in everything that I do. Let's create a simple, oh, you know what? Here, I'm going to show you this again. Default, let's just throw something in here, anything. That sounds really cool. All right, so let's go with this patch here. All right, now what we're gonna do is we are going to take a RV7000 reverb, and we're just gonna pull it right here. And now it's gonna be auto-routed to my mixer. See? Auto-routed to the send in and out of the mixer. Now it's all ready to go. Let's lower the release here. Now let's unfold the reverb, and we're gonna mess with a couple settings right off the bat. EQ on, you're gonna go right down to the EQ here, and now you have a low gain and a high mid gain. So what I do right away is I bring the low shelf down right away, and I bring it over around to about I don't know, around 800 or maybe between 5 and 800 hertz, low frequencies, to get this low end here out of the way. We don't want it. When we're adding reverb, we don't want to add low end bass that we're going to have to try and have a problem EQing it out later. Also, we're going to have the EQ on the top here, the frequency, and I usually bring it right around here. Let's turn this up just so we can hear it. Usually don't bring it up that high, maybe around 4 or 5. Bring it right around 2K and kind of just open it up a little bit so it's a little bit wider of a bell. And what do we got here? The algorithm we're using right now is a Hall. Let's do a little echo. First of all, put the tempo sync. See how long that goes? Oh, I love it. Now here's another thing. Get this lo-fi or this low frequency dampening. And the higher you go, the less low frequency will be in it. So as you hear it, it's kind of going away. It's fun. It's nice. Oh, it's so great. You can mess with the diffusion a little bit. If the EQ is not quite working out for you, you can always change that. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So that's my little rundown for today. If you have questions, obviously, please come down to the comments. I also wanted to just throw it out there that I have my website up and running. It's still a work in progress, obviously. But you know, you can check out all my DJ mixes. and a lot of my I'm working on putting patches and samples and all that other kind of cool stuff. So please check it out. My SoundCloud is linked to there and everything. If you like what you see here, whatever, or if it's not too confusing to follow around, or you want to hear some more stuff, believe me, I got more stuff. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped you in some way possible. And if not, hit me with the comments if you have more questions, you want to hear some more stuff. But now that the coronavirus is hitting everybody and we're all stuck indoors, it's kind of giving me a little bit more time to focus on some of the things that I've been really wanting to up the ante a bit, with the website and everything. So that being said, please come along and enjoy the ride with me. If you guys are interested in doing some collaborations, working out some music or whatever, just shooting the shit, hit me up. Other than that, guys, y'all be good, and we will see you next time.